Hello there,
This is Sebastian.
and this is Darth Walt. Today we're going to talk about the lies in Star Wars.
I know, lying is wrong.
Most of the time that will be the case. Can you think of an exception to that rule?
Well, if a stranger asked me for my address, I wouldn't give him the right one, so I guess it's okay to lie to bad guys.
That's reasonable and safe. How about lies among good guys?
No, that shouldn't be okay.
Let's go back to the Star Wars universe now, in the galaxy far, far away. I think we can find the case for the hero who has been lied the most by the good guys in any story ever made.
What? The good guy who received more lies from other good guys?
Yes, let's focus on the original trilogy. I'm telling you, the good guys lie a lot more than we may think. After this discussion, we may want to rename this trilogy Star Lies.
That bad?
Yes, there were a lot of lies there.
No, I mean like the title would be that bad? I mean, who would buy tickets if the movie is called Star Lies?
Okay, you got a point. Now, who would you think would be the good guy who heard more lies from other good guys?
I think I have an idea. Luke, right?
Correct. But how many?
I recall Obi-Wan lied to him about his father.
Let's start with Kenobi then, the master of the lies.
The master of the lies?
Let's keep a tally count of them, shall we?
Okay.
We know the obvious one in episode 4, when he said he betrayed and murdered your father.
That's number 1.
And then he tried to fix it in episode 6, with his certain point of view speech. His words, "The good man who was your father was destroyed." How accurate was that?
Not very accurate. He had told Luke first that his father was murdered.
In other words, when Kenobi gave his certain point of view speech, he was really lying about lying.
Lie number 2. How many other lies has he told Luke?
And how many other truths he intentionally kept hidden from him. Remember that hiding the truth is another way of lying. Let's go back to episode 4. He lied about his first name.
Yes, he used the name Ben instead of Obi-Wan. Lie number 3.
Yes, he lied by using another name in front of Luke for 19 years, but we will count this as a single one. Then he said, "I haven't gone by the name of Obi-Wan since before you were born." Was that true?
Luke was born at the end of episode 3.
And minutes after Luke was born, Padme said, "Obi-Wan, there is good in him," referring to Anakin.
So clearly he went by Obi-Wan a little after Luke was born.
And perhaps for a little longer. Remember the last scene in episode 3?
Yes, when he goes to Tatooine and gives Luke to his uncle and aunt.
And that was the first time Kenobi met the Lars family. What do you do when you first meet someone?
I introduced myself.
Exactly. He must have formally introduced himself to Owen and Beru. The question is, as Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi?
It had to be as Obi-Wan, because both of them remember Obi-Wan's name in episode 4.
So,
Line number 4. This doesn't look good for Master Kenobi.
back to the scene when Kenobi rescued Luke. He said, "Don't seem to remember ever owning a droid."
That wasn't really a lie.
But think about it. He could have said to Luke, "These droids look very familiar," and after learning their names, he could have told Luke that one of them was built by his father.
So I guess this will be one of those cases of hiding the truth, and it should count as lie. We are at 5 now.
I wish I could say we are halfway through, but we are not.
I know, there are 2 more movies with Kenobi.
And we are not done with the first one yet. When they go to Kenobi's house, Kenobi talked about Owen's Lars and said he didn't hold with your father's ideals. Thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved.
When did Anakin and Uncle Owen ever talk about that?
Never. The stepbrothers didn't really have a chance to have a discussion about any ideals in episode 2.
Line number 6.
And then comes the lightsaber.
I can do this one. Kenobi said, "Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough."
And do you recall the scene when Kenobi got Anakin's weapon?
After Obi-Wan picked up Anakin's lightsaber, the only thing Anakin said was, "I hate you!"
Correct. He didn't say, "Give my lightsaber to my son" when he's old enough.
What? That would have been weird. Line number 7.
Also, Kenobi didn't mention that this lightsaber has been used to kill younglings.
Hiding the truth again. Line number 8.
Then, when Kenobi said this about Uncle Owen, he feared you might follow old Obi-Wan on some damn fool idealistic crusade, like your father did.
That was a bit confusing.
Let's break this into pieces. In episode 1, Anakin was saved from slavery by...
Qui-Gon Jinn!
And who did he follow after this?
He followed Qui-Gon Jinn to become a Jedi.
And that was long before meeting Owen. In episode 2, Anakin didn't follow Obi-Wan, he went to rescue him. And it wasn't an idealistic crusade, he followed the Jedi path first, and then it was war.
Line number 9.
Many lies in that little house. He finally said, "I'm getting too old for this sort of thing."
But he was old, wasn't he?
Indeed. However, was that supposed to be a problem?
Right! Being old wasn't really a problem for Dooku, Yoda, or Palpatine. Line number 10. I can't believe it. And we're still on his first episode.
Yes. Here's the last one from that episode. When they found the dead Jawas, Kenobi said, "Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise."
Weren't they the ones who killed the Jawas?
They were indeed. But saying that they are so precise is not really accurate.
Oh yeah, stormtroopers are known for being terrible at hitting a target. Everyone makes fun of that. Line number 11, Obi-Wan. Next movie then. The Empire Strikes Back!
In his first appearance in episode 5, he gave a new one to Luke. When he said, "There you will learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me."
Except it was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right, you could argue that Yoda had taught Kenobi as a youngling. But it was Qui-Gon who was Kenobi's master, the one who instructed him as an adult.
And Luke was already an adult. Line number 12.
And this would be the end of our first episode. The first dozens of lies. There are 2 more dozens there. Let's ask our audience, what do you think about these 12 lies? What would you think would be the next ones? And if you like this father and son Star Wars talk, show us your support by...
Like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.
These were Darth, Walt,
And Sebas.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you again.